Hello and welcome to Gist Arena, where all we do is gist, and gist. I am Cynthia and Ayatunde and Adenike are sending across their hellos to everyone. I trust that we've had a wonderful week so far. Now we went out into the streets to gather responses to a new segment that we are calling "What Would You Do?" So this is us basically in the streets of social media asking our listeners what they would do, in a certain scenario. And the scenario that we were asking about is, what will you do if you discovered that your close relative or spouse is involved in crimes like kidnapping, banditry, advanced fee fraud, aka 419? A lot of people sent their responses to us, and I will be sharing their responses with you anonymously. The first person said, me, I will send an anonymous message that I know he is into it. He should stop. Else, I will report anonymous so they don't kill me. After 1 month, I will blow the whistle. Anonymous still. Anonymity coming into play here. Another person said, I will take it upon myself to constantly tell him to stop. If I feel I am safe enough after letting him understand, I now know what he is into. If I am not safe enough, I am willing to give his detail and how he will be caught anonymously. Anonymity again. Another person said, I will report them anonymously and run far from them because I don't know if they are in affiliation with the police. Anonymity again. Another person said, if it is kidnapping and banditry, I will report to the appropriate authority and disassociate myself from the person. On advance fee fraud, if it has to do with putting money into something and getting an unrealistic return on investment in a short period, I won't report. Interesting. In my opinion, people that usually fall for such tricks are greedy. On the other hand, if you're moving money from people's accounts and using technology to an unfair disadvantage, I will also report. I believe this person is saying that the onus is on everyone to not fall into quite obvious money making scams, schemes, and gimmicks. Another person said, if it is a crime involving killing of humans, I will make every possible effort to get him nabbed. I absolutely agree. When it comes to taking other people's life, for me, that is not a question. Another person said, I will advise the person to stop, but if they don't, then I will report to the person's parents and elders in the family to take it up from there, which is basically calling other people into the equation. I do agree. Another person said, dangerous people are dangerous people, either loyal or not. They will go to any length to protect themselves. The moment they even realize you are aware of the situation, they will at any cost protect themselves, and not just them, the people they are working with as well. It is a risky move, but one has to let them go. It is best to never be in that space and just silence the person quietly. In that case, what I'll be doing is I will speak to a cop and report anonymously and get the person arrested anonymously. Here is also anonymity playing or coming into play. Another person said, I go warn them to stop or cast them. Another person said, I will sharply distance myself from the person. If it is already known by others or the public, I will disown the person and I will not allow conversation concerning the person to be had around me. You know what? At the end of this, I will share with you a particular scenario where the authority in question disowned the perpetrator, and it did work out well. Another person said, I'll cancel him or her, disassociate myself from him, and report to the police if it is safe. Another person said, I will inform other family members to join me in advising him to quit the evil act. It is dangerous for only one person to advise such a person alone so that you don't become victim. If he refuses to desist from such acts, I would report him or her to the authority. I can certainly understand why this person wants someone else to be there, just in case, the person wants to just, make one or two moves that could be life threatening or that could affect you negatively. It's better when you're at least two there. Another person said, I can't help it but to say this first. God forbid. I do agree. God forbid. Too. I'm praying I don't know or find out. In all honesty, I will stop associating with the person, especially family members from afar. No communication or interaction. It now becomes more difficult when it is a spouse. You work on that person. If it becomes too much, anonymous reporting I can do. Anonymous. The person was stressing it. So again, anonymity here. Another person said, let me just assume it is close relative and not spouse. Mama detach Arami quietly, saying that I will detach myself quietly first before I report the person after making my own concrete observations and gravity of what he or she is doing. I do I sort of agree with the person that you want to make your observations to ensure that you're right, so that you're just not making your moves based on assumption. That's absolutely lovely. Another person said strong advices and stand against him or her secretly when no vivid change, then open up to the appropriate quarter. Another person said society is preserved by people who live upright. So to support family members that are in destructive activities is directly supporting the activities that destroy the society. Quite deep that. My specific action towards such family member will be to persuade such individual to change his or her way of life, pointing out some of the consequences of his actions to the larger society and how he or she is also digging his own grave because every deed will be rewarded one way or the other. Furthermore, I will encourage him to seek a more honorable way to achieve his goal in life without resulting in criminal activities. I will give him or her every necessary support he needed to turn a new leaf. If he or she fails to change his action, I will secretly report him to the authority. I will do such by sending an anonymous letter or mail. Anonymity coming into play here as well. If it's, and this is another response, if it's not been declared a criminal case, I will take time to pray for God's leading and find a way to engage him or her to find out what led him to that crime in the first place. Further engagement will be based on the response I receive. Many times it is ignorance and poverty that pushes men to such things. When you show them love and empathize with them, it is easy to make them turn their back to such crimes. Interesting. If it has, then the person faces the law. That means if it has been declared a criminal case, then the person faces the law as charged. Nice. Another person said, if it is kidnapping and banditry, I would report, maybe because I feel lives could be lost in the process. If it is fraud, I might talk to the person or find someone to talk to them. Lastly, someone said, Yepa, not to ask him if he won't commit suicide, hence why he is into this. And if he can't stop, not to stylishly move with my pikin. I believe this person is saying that if the person in question is or a spouse. Yes. Thank you so much everyone that sent us a response. That's yeah, that sent us a response. So I said I was gonna share something. A couple of years ago in the US, there was this um young boy, not it was about 17 or 18 if I'm correct, that did something that was bordering on national security. I won't be saying what the person did because it's quite a serious crime. And when the person was arrested, the crime was such that they would need to invite the family, because it was such a shameful thing, and it's something that was going to tarnish sort of the person's image, the family's image, just that like the lineage as well. And then the father came out and said, "Oh, but I've already disowned this particular boy." a couple of months ago or thereabouts, I realized that his actions were, they were quite unbecoming, and I realized that it looked like he was committing a crime. And I went to the appropriate authorities. I reported and said, "This is what I've observed. This is what I think this person is doing. Please do what is necessary. Go and investigate and do what needs to be done. But I am disowning this human. He is not my son. I do not know him. I cease, to be affiliated with him." But actually his father, he said, "I cease to be affiliated with him." I believe he also put out a publication then disowning his son and saying that I don't know him and everything. And just because of that thing that he did, when the boy was finally caught after he had done what he had done, they could not shame his father, his family, like nothing happened until date. I believe that the actions of that boy, when people refer to the actions of that boy, they only call the name of that boy. And because it's quite popular knowledge what the father and what the family did when they realized what the boy was doing. I think that story, just for me, it's a very profound one. If you find that your family member or someone that is into such crime, please think in depth, and try and see how you can sort of ensure that you take appropriate steps and necessary steps. Do it anonymously if you need to. So far so good. Everyone seems to want to tilt to the anonymity. I quite understand. Do it if it will make you feel safer. Thank you so much, everyone that sent us their responses. Again, please follow us on our Instagram handles at Gist Arena, ending with a double A, and on YouTube, subscribe to our channel at Gist Arena. We would love to hear from you as well. What will you do if you discovered that your close relative or spouse is involved in crimes like kidnapping, banditry, advanced free fraud, or 419? Please let us know. Send us your responses on Instagram or on YouTube. We look forward to reading from you. Thank you so much for listening to us. Until next time, do enjoy and have a lovely rest of week. Bye.